Good morning, everybody. Well, you all know inflation's coming down, only 5.3%. Got a long way to go, but markets are loving it. You can see they're up here. Um, Pretty much, I guess the reaction ensures a belief that the Fed is going to do anything. So I guess not. That was the expectation. And what's going on here? Am I not coming? Is the mic moving? I think I see it. Okay. Jake, you said voice, but I didn't turn it on immediately. All right. So let's see where they're at here. They've been moving up from when I started looking at what's going on here. This is where they were initially. So pretty sizable gap. Let me just see if I got a number on that. If that's updated yet. No, I thought maybe the other platform would update. I mean, percentage wise, what that is. Anyway, it's a pretty decent size gap. The question is, is it going to be a gap and crap situation, or will it keep going higher? Yes, and 440, that's still a ways off, but that would be a potential target as a whole number for it to possibly get up to. That would be, well, more than double the size of the gap, whatever the gap is there that it's gapping up. I don't think it can get there today. That'd be a hell of a move after gapping up that much. So, let me look at the futures. It's not that big of a bar. And there's no immediate resistance here. So look at it. This has got a nice distance now to this support area, which leaves a reasonable amount of pullback area without damaging the trend. And so that's the good part. I mean, short term, it's getting extended, no doubt. But you can see, this initial move came out of a base, went sideways, and now is accelerating higher. So, it's getting closer to a pullback, but it's unlikely to pull back far enough to damage the trend. And that's a good thing, intermediate term. Now, the NASDAQ, on the other hand, that's another story because that's coming close to some resistance. But let's get to SPX, which has been a moving target as far as, what to sell there, which I believe the upside. Well, I think either one could work, but let me just go back here and just check where the numbers are at, since things are moving. You can do 4405 now. Jake, you got 10, but if it keeps going up, you could be doing 10, or you're going to, do less premium to get that far away, which is, I guess, okay. In the way it's moving up, you might be able to do that. So that's a hell of a distance away to get up there. And so the average range is, just looking at this, if we, from that point of view, looking at, to get up from here, 37, 70 points or so. I don't think so. And that's what we want for a credit spread. And down below, that number's been shrinking. Let's see here. 4310 or 4305, which is 4305 would even 10, but 4305 is below yesterday's low. Seems highly unlikely to do that, but look, what credit spreads are. It's all about getting far enough away. So, up here just seems too far, too fast. And I would say that was the closer to the no-brainer. The Qs, See, where did I put that? That's why you got to look at other markets. This is getting close to this prior swing high. So while the S&Ps have room to go, the leader is reaching which appears to be in the short term anyway, would be its ultimate destination before some selling increases. It's coming up to this pivot high from April of last year. And you can see it's going to gap almost there. And so there's no whole number there. And I just want to see what number is that? 360, 65. You want to look at where's the big open interest in higher numbers. And wow. So the big open interest on the Qs, the biggest was 340 and 350. So they're going to expire. I mean, think about what would you do if you own those calls and it's gapping up like that, and they're going to expire on Friday. I think you got to be crazy not to be taking the money. There's some at 375, 350, 355 is below. So anyway, I would think they're going to get sold. Again, this is the main point that they're coming up to, having traveled from the ideal spot over here, running up into this area just makes sense, especially gapping up. It's going to be sellers there. And you got this sideways action from the prior 2 weeks is going to become an important support point. So let's do this. Get off. Okay. Let's see if the Russell's breaking out. It's got ways to go. Flipping around. It's not moving very far. Interesting. So it gives me a little pause as far as how bullish this move is. Well, maybe overly so as it's moving up, that the market is rejoicing that the Fed won't raise interest rates this time, that the Russell isn't moving up more aggressively. If the market is so bullish, why not buy these more speculative stocks or futures? See if the Dow is up at resistance. It's got lots of resistance there. They're coming into, already into. I had to erase everything that I had here from before, so I'm taking the time to redo stuff. It's not what I wanted to do. Give me a second. Wow, it's already in there. You can see what I'm doing. It's all those pivot highs are up there. So with the Qs, the Dow coming up into this resistance area up a few weeks in a row, it just makes sense that we're going to see some profit taking. So maybe at 10 o'clock, we'll see what happens if it's not at the open, but 10 o'clock reversal period could be where things start to come in a bit. And see where interest rates, they're down a bit. Well, not really moving too much. And we can't see what the transports are doing, but so lots of good price action here. Just would make sense that since things have moved up a little bit, that probably within the first half hour or so, we'll see some selling. Crude oil back down to the bottom of this initial trading range here. That's not going anywhere. No, not much of a move in gold either. And, we're not getting much in it to go on here. So I think the takeaway is with the Dow and the NASDAQ coming up into that resistance area, you want to be a little cautious and lighten up on longs. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, I've been going through things, tightening stops a little bit. We have, a ton of great open positions. We've been trading both broader markets and these catch-up trades. Like my alarm on XLC went off. So I just posted that to subscribers. We'll just sell a third on this gap up. I mean, we're down here from way lower prices. We're in SPY G from, we bought this breakout right here on 5/17. We bought this, or maybe the next day after, over the high. So this is our ETF where we have longer holding periods, daily, weekly, monthly. We're all in alignment. Jets, we're in. We sold a third yesterday near the day's high. I see that gapping up a little bit, but it's approaching this prior high. So yeah, Greg, on some of these ETFs, you got to decide how tight you want the stops. Just had a globe.
Sell them.
What?
Sell them. The XL, the tech.
All right, hold on. I got a global arm here. All right. Well, do you want to go through all the opens yourself right now of the ETFs?
Yeah, I'm opening up the tracking sheet as we speak.
All right. So I just told him to sell a third of XLC, but read the comments. Will tell you how much we have left.
Okay.
All right. I'm setting new alarms here on Globe. This is a core long of ours. We legged into a covered call yesterday. Just making new alarms. But yeah, yesterday afternoon I was pounding that. Greg did a video on that gamma, delta hedging situation, and I was pounding the table yesterday afternoon saying this is bullish across the board, bullish. I was telling Greg that would have been a fantastic day trade, and swing, but that would have decided if he wanted to hold overnight. FCX, yeah, what's higher? It's gonna be hard getting on board new longs here today, folks. I mean, unless you just give them the big old stop and look to add. SMHs, they look higher, but it's gapping up over $3. What do you suggest, Thomas? Tell me what you suggest and I'll comment on it.
If you sell a covered call, if you own it, or
well, I'm assuming he's looking at a new entry, and I don't know how to respond.
well, wait, buy a pullback, right? What else can you do?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's gapping up over $3. Yes, we were all over semis yesterday. We got into LRCX. That looks great. We got into another put spread. Whatever it is. Look at Intel. I was trying to sell puts on this with the intent to take assignment. And look at this thing out of nowhere. It opened flat and just ripped. Incredible move. But I liked Friday's red bar bottoming tail at resistance in the weekly monthly. I've been watching this monthly chart for many months. X Thomas is another one, you know, in the FCX sector, copper, steel, bottoming pattern, had a nice close, gapping up. So I want to watch that on a pullback. Oracle blowing out earnings, saying they're gonna, you know, AI teaming up with NVIDIA. Everything's AI. I've been saying this for like 4 months now. That it's just 100% reminiscence to me of trading in the internet days, where, you know, even a gas station will come out and say, "Oh, I'm on the internet now," and their stock would rip. But I them so much yesterday. I was tempted. We could have sold the $145 calls for like 80 cents, I think. But now it's one that is far, far, far away from the 20 MA now. You know, and then even visually look at the 200. You know, that'd be a good, that would be an excellent scan, Greg. Just to say, whatever this opens up at, 123.65 divided by the 200 MA and whatever percent from the 200 that is, I would love to see a scan of those stocks and see what happened to them, you know, the following
That's easy.
year, whatever.
I mean, I don't know about the gap, but I mean, it's just an indicator percentage from an MA, and you could put that in a minder, and then you could
Okay.
say, show me everything that's more than X percent over the 200 period moving average.
Yeah, and in my experience, anything over 2x is yeah, you're on borrowed time.
Another thing, I mean, since we got a little time for conversation, I mentioned over the years, if you, and you might find this, others might find it interesting, that I would use an indicator for a measurement, but indicators, if you use them for scanning, they're excellent. As use them for make decisions on charts, they're pretty much useless. But as a general guide, if you were using a 14-day ADX, and if you were to put that in a minder or scan for stocks that are above 60, historically, they're near a top.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I could do that. I mean, you know, when things are moving like this, I mean, visually you can see them. And what do we use scans for? To find things that we're not looking at, to put the software to put in front of our face.
Right. All right. So anyway, yeah, so Alex, I'm answering, even though you said Greg, we just don't enter, you know, this far up. That's the problem. All right, so 30-minute low. I'm going to consider a call spread on Oracle for Friday if there's any juice. I see Bitcoin actually whipping around with these numbers too. Home Depot reaffirmed some numbers. That's a put spread idea. MEI also gave some weakened guidance. I don't see any prints, but there's down here 41 bucks. That's a nasty gap. Charlie Bravo, I think, got an upgrade, but it's doing absolutely nothing. I can sell this thing going by the ticker. This has been on my core watch list. Now look at that. Look at that monthly. So this a little bit reminds me of Intel charts, where rally to resistance, and then if it's a red bar, ignored. So I am going to set an alarm at at 1088. And that very well could be a new core long for us. And 88, 85, 1085. Oh, if somebody remind me, let's go through my core list this afternoon. Just to make adjustments and so forth. You know, we do that every, you know, 10 days or whatever. So look, yeah, the last time I dated this was 6/2. All right, Greg, I see your things now, Hun and Arc F. You're talking to me on Arc F, it's not moving. Well, we have a small gain now with the gap up. But definitely it's been lagging. Arc F and lagging some like the Arc G and the Arc Lady with robotics. But I still love this monthly. But daily's neutral, it's up, but trade's ugly. But yeah, let's keep an eye on that. Put it in a window. Hun below yesterday's low. Well, it's down 3 bars. I would prefer, Raul, an attempt to move higher and then fail. We're actually, this is our only short position. And so notice this is a sell setup in a downtrend. And you know how we use the term, you know, a tail, gotcha. This topping tail was a beautiful tail. And then Friday's bar was another attempt to move higher and then close below 30, you know, close below all those lows for the whole week. That was our tell to short Friday's low. And you can see even when the market's up here, it's doing nothing. So I was just kind of comparing Hun to this one. All right. What else? GNRC. We sold a put on this yesterday, a put spread. You know, breakdown failure. It's not a good directional, but we sold the put spread right there, the 112s. Really. Buy setup, made a new high, buy setup, bullish weekly, monthly, long watch. Oh, Stephen, actually, these two I got off your list from yesterday that we were supposed to go to and never did. These two I liked a lot. And this one, Stephen, you should have given me the old final warning that Alex does for me. That was a beautiful 1, 2, 3 pattern with a price void. You had red bar ignored, you have higher low, you had closing breakout on Thursday, inside bar, rising 50, price void. That was a no-brainer pattern. So when you get something that pretty, give me the old final warning. All right, Altera, I see here gapping up. This was a nice setting a new alarm. This one was in the weekend letter. I see one print up here, 77.65, looks good. CCJ, that was a beautiful continuation pattern yesterday. Also, this is what we call a bull, you know, rectangle. It's just bullish consolidation at the top of this flagpole. Bullish weekly, bullish monthly. That was a beautiful trade yesterday. DRI, another, you know, ascending triangle, bull rectangle also. So that looks great. I'm going to put that in a window. Let's see where it opens relative to the market gap up, but that's a continuation pattern. PayX looks like it can go to the 200, but some things I'm just not interested anymore because the broader markets are getting extended. And I call the broader markets the tide. I like to trade with the tide. Timo, which is a put spread yesterday. I don't see any prints. RH looks fantastic. Surprised it's not gapping up more, but that looks great. Alex found this for us. Okay, can you share, Steve, can you share on stock options? But be happy to. Give me a symbol. I mean, we have a technical approach. Block not moving. Yeah, Greg, kill iBuy. I've been keeping a tight leash on that. Yeah, I mean, if you want to help me and just send alerts to Telegram, or I'll get to it within 30 minutes, but then it might be too late. All right, Stavabos. Yeah, I saw Manu up also. Yeah, that was a beautiful bottoming pattern yesterday. Now this is an excellent example of what we've been talking about with these catch-up trades. Look, failed breakdown, converging MAs. Friday had a closing engulfing bar. Yesterday, a deeper one with a void bottoming pattern. I don't know what to do with it now. I'd be selling it. All right, I got a ton of alarms going off here, so as expected. All right, YouTuber Marvel. All right, Marvel. It's what I call bullish consolidation, far from the 20. So you got very strong demand there. It's not a great pattern. It's just getting on board something that's very strong. It's here. I'll show you it. Alex, what's that semi yesterday that you bought? That was the same thing. Not wow. Oh, this is our Altera. Okay. Abgo. Yeah. So compare it to Abgo. Now this was bullish, far from the 20, but buyers stepped up. But this was a better pattern than Marvel. But same idea of it over time. All right, yeah, folks, I'm going to be really busy here just suggesting these. I got alarms going off here, and we want to protect gains. Altera looks great, but let's go ahead and just sell a third into strength. All right, I have a ton of alarms go off here on DVN. Oil bouncing a little bit here. RH alarm. RH looks great as a new trade. I'm not doing it with the market pulling in, but that's a very nice contestant. Same DRI. Those are two of my favorite new setups, DRI and RH. But I'm just gonna wait and see. Let's see what happens in the first 30 minutes here. I just had an up alarm break. But I think you told him to sell it, which is fine. Yeah, I kept a tight leash on that. Jets up alarm, nice, $20. But we're selling in the strength. It's up, it's up 8 bars at a prior high. Time to sell. We're in jet blue though. And jet blue looks great. Let's move the stop on this. We have long calls and oh, I'm short puts. 763 jet blue.